It's Reiki Day! Let's go. Bringing you prayer energy. Bringing you universal life force energy. Reiki. Bringing up the Earth's energy. Gaia. Bringing down the angels and their energies. Heavenly hosts. All to create the planetary Reiki Gaia angel prayer infused flow. Welcome to Reiki Day Live, and I'm your host, Brother James. So let's get into the flow. Peace, 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 family. Brother James, House of Healing Light. It's Reiki Day. And we thank everybody for coming. We thank our Muslim family for being here. We're starting the days of prayer. And of course, you know, that's one of the best ways to start off anything is to be able to pray and get yourself in connection with the Creator, with Allah, so that we can be in alignment with Him. And so I'm honored that you're here. And I'm thankful that you're here, and I'm thankful that Allah has given me something to speak to us about. We're going to be speaking about enlightenment today. And we're going to understand how prayer is involved with enlightenment. But as I just said, we should start things off with prayer. So I ask everybody to take their prayer position and to get comfortable so that we can we can make prayer and get in alignment with the Creator, with Allah. So please take a position that's comfortable, bow your heads, and let us pray. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praises are due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, Master of this day of judgment which we do now live. Thee alone do we serve, Thee alone do we beseech for help. O Allah, guide us on the right path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom Thou wrath's brought down, nor those who've gone astray after hearing Thy teaching. Ameen. So once again, we thank everybody for coming and being with us. It's a great day to be alive from my vantage point, to be able to commune with one another and to come in one accord in prayer. And then when we get to Monday, we'll be having the Reiki Day. We'll be bringing down life force energy, bringing up earth energy, bringing down the angel energy, and surrounding ourselves with the energies that can and will enlighten us and will bring us good health. So I want to talk to us today. I want to share with you what Allah has shared with me. And I'm going to read a couple of verses from the Holy Quran first to really help us to get into the mindset of enlightenment. Enlightenment. Surah 57, Ayah 28. O you who believe, be conscious of Allah and believe in His messenger, and He will bestow upon you a double portion of His mercy. He will provide for you a light by which you shall walk, and He will forgive you. Now, there's a lot in that ayat right there, in and of itself, because of the fact that he's not only talking about giving us light, but he's also talking about forgiving us. In order to reach enlightenment, you're going to go through trials. You're going to go through mistakes, errors, and to know that Allah will forgive you is a comfort to the believers. Not that we should rely on that and just, do whatever we want to do, but to know that in our striving, if we fall, if we have some missteps, that his forgiveness and mercy is still there. That is something that comforts us and helps us to continue on our path to enlightenment. And it starts with, as this verse said, being conscious of Allah and believing in his messenger. When we are conscious of Allah, we're bringing in his light and we're thinking on it and we're acting on it. And what we do is based on that consciousness. But that consciousness is being provided, as the verse says, by him and his light. So to me, true enlightenment is when you take in Allah's light into your mind and you use that as your operating system. Let it empower your operating system. Let it be that which your CPU is based on, because then that will make sure and ensure that the work that you do will be of him. Now, that's not to say that there's not going to be any issues. As you know, with computers, you have some glitches, some mistakes happen, but then you also can have a patch given. And this is another part of that enlightenment. This is why he's having me speak to us about enlightenment, because we have to take in his light, but we also have to be careful what we do with it and be careful how we judge ourselves. Sometimes we step in our own way. We can be our own roadblocks, where he's giving us his light to enlighten us, but we're fighting against it. Sometimes our lower desires get in the way. Sometimes we let others' feelings of us get in the way. And we have to have a means to get past that. But that's truly what enlightenment is for. It's to constantly give us what we need to overcome obstacles so that we become better people. But for the most part, as I've said before, the ultimate aim of prayer is to become one with God. So to be enlightened is to become one with God. And one of the best ways to do that is through prayer, because that's how we can receive light, because we're talking with Allah and we're asking for things. So he is giving us enlightenment, but we just have to make sure we're listening. I want to also give us a second verse. Surah 24, Ayah 35. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. The parable of his light is as if there were a niche and within it a lamp. The lamp enclosed in glass. The glass, as it were, a brilliant star, lit from a blessed tree, an olive, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil is very luminous, though fire scarce touched it. Light upon light, Allah guides whom he will to his light. So once again, we're seeing that his light is universal, which means that as we're taking in enlightenment from him, we should be becoming universal in our thoughts, in our actions. We should be thinking bigger. We shouldn't allow ourselves to stay on any low rung of any kind. We should be constantly evolving because he's constantly giving light to enlighten us. Now, I want to share something with you that when I was in my inner sanctuary and talking with my angels, there was something that was brought to mind. I was shown a pyramid, but it was like a pyramid of pure light. And as I began to think about it, there was different things that Allah revealed to me. But the first thing I want to say is this: as parents, especially those aspiring to be parents and those who may be new parents, we want to make sure that we help our children to become enlightened early. That means connecting them with prayer, connecting them to the God, and putting light as much as we can in their minds, in their head, and making sure that we ourselves, as we strive to be enlightened, make sure that you ask Allah, what is it that He wills for your child, so that they can begin to be on their mission early. You know, we have been told in the Nation of Islam that around the age of 6, children, if they're trained properly, can begin to see what their destiny is. And that's what's best for them. Because if we as parents do that, then we find out what their destiny is and we can set up a path for them to walk so that they can stay enlightened and so that they can fulfill their duty. So this is why it's so important for us as the adults and us as the parents to stay enlightened, because we want to continually keep the path of enlightenment open for the next generation so that they can stand on our shoulders and go higher. And as the Holy Quran says, you know, he allows a thing to attain stage after stage to its eventual perfection. This is our duty. This is what we're um, supposed to be moving towards ourselves, but definitely making sure that our children are on that path as well. Striving our best to make sure that they don't repeat the same mistakes that we have already done. And so we should be learning from our mistakes. Everything about life is to learn a lesson. And we have to honor ourselves and our children and imbue them with the lessons that we've learned in hopes that they don't repeat it and then they go further. So enlightenment is very important. This is one of the reasons why he has me talking about it. He, Allah, has me talking about it because we have to keep it on our minds, because darkness is always present. But as we see from the reality that we're living in right now today, that darkness is dark, it's deep. And we know from the Holy Quran, from different teachers, that it's going to get worse. So Allah is giving us this talk on enlightenment for us to prepare. for us to really understand how to prepare. So, again, I'm speaking to the parents, please enlighten the children to the best of your ability. I mean, Allah does not expect you to do more than what you know and what you understand, but do stay on the path of enlightenment yourself. Okay. So, as I said, I was in my inner sanctuary and the angel showed me a pyramid of light. And I began to understand something. Allah creates us with a purpose, then gives us the many talents, gifts, abilities, skills, and teachings that we need to fulfill this purpose. Now, if you may have heard, the pyramids, they say, originally had a capstone. It was a huge diamond at the very top of the pyramid. And as I began to think about that, it began to hit me. When light hits a diamond, it can be broken down. That's why a diamond sparkles. So if the imagery that is given from the pyramid and that capstone, if we look at that from the perspective of Allah being the capstone, being that diamond, and we are that pyramid, we can begin to see that it's making him your head, where his light can come in and then disperse throughout your body, enlightening, because within light is consciousness, within energy is consciousness. So when his light comes within, it illuminates us, where it can give us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding beyond what we already know. It also can empower us and turn on some of these gifts, abilities, skills, teachings, so that we can fulfill our purpose. And we have to understand, again, when Allah created us in the womb, there was a purpose put on our life right there. And then he gave us the skills to fulfill that purpose. But unfortunately, where most of us fall short is that we don't look for the purpose. Or we kind of sort of look for it, but most of us get shaped by the world. And we want to do things that's going to bring us money, that's going to make us famous, which may be far from the actual purpose. If you spoke to someone, I don't think anybody would ever tell you, well, I've always wanted to be a sanitation engineer. No, most people are not going to tell you that. But what if that was your purpose? What if Allah brought you into existence to be on the cleanup crew? We got to understand how powerful whatever purpose that he gives us is. Because guess what? If there's no cleanup crew, then everybody dirty. Then we're forced to deal with whatever comes from filth, uncleanliness, whatever disease or dis-ease that comes from it. So you need somebody who can handle that. So in the enlightenment process, we have to be looking for our purpose and be willing to fulfill that purpose. That's not a bad thing to not be a doctor, but to be a florist. Flowers make things beautiful. Flowers change people's lives, their thought process upon receiving them, because it does something to the senses. It can put you at ease. See, all of this is necessary. And when we receive that purpose in the womb, we have to understand that purpose is necessary because Allah does everything with an aim and a purpose. He says in the Holy Quran, not one leaf gets wasted, not one leaf falls without his knowledge. So everybody has to fulfill their purpose in order to fulfill the grand plan that Allah has. This is why we must become enlightened. So again, when we allow that energy to come in, and again, let's say we have that diamond at the top of our head, which from those of us who work with energy, crown chakra. When you have that energy flowing in to your crown chakra, it disperses throughout the rest of your system, not only illuminating, but again, if we work with it, then we begin to go to higher heights. Our frequency changes, our thought changes. We can move into higher realms, and whatever you take on the inside, we can bring it out to the outside. Now, as I was being taken further and further into the thought of it, I was also understanding that, the pyramids that we know about have steps or an incline, so something supporting as you're getting closer and higher up. So the other part of enlightenment is being around other people who have knowledge that you need. I said that teachings is already being put in you in the womb, but somebody has to help you to understand it. Somebody has to help you to see it. Somebody has to help you to bring it out. So just as that pyramid is, you're going to have people that help take you to different levels. Some of them may stay around, some of them may not. But we have to learn to deal with one another. As the Holy Quran says, he made us into tribes so that we can get to know one another. What does he mean by that? Well, he made each tribe to have different skill sets, different understandings, different knowledge that they were allowed to come into based on their environment and their understanding of it. So when we get to know each other, or as the Bible says, where two of us together, there I am also. So in other words, when we get together, we can enlighten each other if we're talking the right language. Now, the best you can do is some sports scores. I mean, you may learn something, but that's not enlightenment. But when we get together and we start talking on the things of God universally, personally, and so on and so forth, then we all are going up that pyramid. You see? Because I'm learning something from this person, from that person, and it's becoming part of my skill set. It's becoming part of my understanding. My consciousness is being raised. This is why we're supposed to have non-auto thoughts and conversations, because that enlightenment process will keep us going. Somebody could say something that can make you have an epiphany that jumps you into another level. And this is what we have to do now. We have so many different endeavors, and we know so many people who may be already doing things in those different endeavors. Learn, talk, but talk to be educated, talk to expand knowledge, not to make yourself feel better than somebody else and so on and so forth. But I mean, really, let's enlighten each other. Nothing wrong with talking about the scriptures. There's nothing wrong with talking about real life either, but coming from a godly perspective. This is what Allah wants for us. He wants us to come up. That's why the pyramid was being shown, but it was a pyramid of pure light. So to me, it was saying to us, keep as much light in your life as possible and keep those around you who are a part of your life. Try to keep as many people that are imbued with that light around you. That's talk. That's build, as they say, so that we can ascend, which is something I spoke about a few Reiki days ago, days of prayers ago. We have to ascend, but we need the enlightenment. And the best way for enlightenment is not books, though that's good. I'm not telling nobody don't read. But the truest enlightenment comes when we are involved with the Creator Himself. When we are communicating with Him directly. So as we've been being taken through in the days of prayer, we're understanding the steps that go along with prayer. We're understanding that you not just pray, but you meditate. Nobody likes a one-sided conversation. If you're talking to God, you got to allow Him to have a means to talk back to you, to give you the enlightenment, and to take the time to help explain, help you to understand what He's enlightening you with. So meditation is very powerful. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's been left out, but it's a very powerful thing. You know, some of the scriptures talk about going into the desert and getting quiet. That's what we need to do. Sometimes we got to shut up and let God talk and then respond if we have questions and let Him talk again. And one of the best ways to do that is through meditation. You know, we have to allow ourselves to receive the answer. You ask the question, but you got to be willing to sit down, be quiet, clear your mind. Another aspect of the days of prayer that has already been brought out. Don't try to put a law in your box. That's why you meditate and be quiet and then listen, stay open. But don't try to look at things as, well, you think a law should do it this way or that way. Because there are definitely times that He's going to use people and things and situations that you might not think He would ever use. Sometimes He can make your enemy your best friend, or your enemy can enlighten you on something. So we have to stay open. And as I said, the Quran says He made us into tribes so that we can get to know each other. Get to know each other. You never know what key somebody has that you need. So as part of your enlightenment path, keep your mind open and listen. Listen for the hints of Allah, because it can come from a TV show, it can come from a radio show, it can come from one of those hated people that you have at work. Sometimes they drop a jewel on you if we listen. So the pyramid of light is saying so many things just in that one image, because it's showing us that we need to find the different levels within ourselves, but it's also saying that we need to find things outside of ourselves. You got to find the different stones to put together to make that one pyramid. And if you know anything about the pyramids, you understand that they are mathematically precise. Precise mathematics. So that's another part of the Enlightenment mindset. You know, in the Nation of Islam, it is said, um, mistakes shall not exist at no time, which is saying to us, if you make a mistake, you're supposed to fix it and then don't make it again. That's what takes it out of existence. These are the different things that we have to start incorporating into our mindset. It also says Nation of Islam does everything right and exact, meaning look for, work towards perfection. Stop telling yourself, no, nobody's perfect. Even if that is true, we won't become perfected as long as we give ourselves that excuse and never strive to actually be perfected. Especially since it's in the Holy Quran. He wants us to reach perfection, but he's telling us stage after stage. In other words, the steps of the pyramid, stage after stage. But you should always be going up and not letting yourself get knocked down, but go up, irregardless of whatever you're going through. Step it up, because he already has enlightenment that will help you to get over whatever it is that you're going through. But prayer or communication, now I have to take a little step back for a second. Remember, throughout the days of prayer, we've been saying this. Do not allow yourself to get stuck into thinking that prayer is just the prescribed prayers. Prayer is communication with Allah. And I've been saying he wants us to speak with him as we would our best friend. There ain't no point hiding nothing because he knows. So it'd be better to discuss with him whatever you're going through. There's no point in hiding. He knows you messed up. So go back and look for his advice. Ask for forgiveness, atone. But keep going back. Don't let that stop you from going back to him, because he's already there. I've said that throughout the days of prayer. Allah is waiting for us to come to him. He's waiting. He's opened up the door for us to have direct guidance from him. That's why he gave me the inner sanctuary, manifesting through prayers, creating an inner sanctuary where you and him are in the same space at the same time. You can feel his energy in the inner sanctuary. He wants us to make it through, but we have to make those steps. We have to get on the path of enlightenment, staying in constant communication with him. When you have a problem, I'm not saying don't try to solve it yourself, but it still would be best to go to him. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. So if you're up against something great in your life, then obviously the remembrance of him will give you a force that's greater than the problem or situation that you're in. We have to stay on this path of enlightenment because, like I said, the darkest days are still coming. But those of us who choose enlightenment, choose prayer, and again, not just prescribed prayers, but a calling on him all the time. And not always for problems, giving praise and giving thanks, gratitude is also something that we have to do as part of our enlightenment process. But let's do that. Let's get on our enlightenment path. Let's allow his light to come in, enlighten. Let his light come in to us. As he said in one of the verses that I read, light upon light. Let's go there. Let's get there. We're getting light upon light. See, now you ain't worried about nothing because you've been enlightened and you know that he's going to continue to enlighten you because it'll be light upon light. Now you know you can make it through, regardless of what you're going through. It might take some time, but you know you can make it. So those of us that jump on our enlightenment path and we walk it diligently, we're the ones, like the Quran says, we're not suffering from anxiety and grief. We're not even worried because on the path of enlightenment, you're also going to gain faith. And your faith will be strengthened because as he's constantly giving you light and you're putting it into practice and you're seeing that it works, you get confident when you know you got something that works. And when you know you have a source that backs you up, you get confident. Now you don't worry as much. But and eventually, I believe that I was shown the pyramid of light because eventually we'll be totally illuminated with his light, where we will become him walking. We'll be true Muslims. We will submit entirely to his will. And so when that happens, yeah, there's not really a point of grieving or being anxious. It's like we know we can overcome. And we know we'll go higher. Because as the Holy Quran says, if the trees were as pens and the seas were as ink, with 7 more added to them, yet still you could not exhaust the wisdom of Allah. So being enlightened and being given that light that takes us into higher wisdom, again, the problems of life don't seem as much of a problem because you have a way out. He gives you a way out. And as long as you walk that path, you'll walk out. You'll keep going up the steps. Or the pyramid that I was shown was truly just a pyramid. It didn't even have steps. But when you're enlightened, that's what happens. It's a way of showing that the more enlightened we are, again, we're armed with the things that will help us to go through life, chaos or peacetime. We'll be able to make it through and keep going higher, taking things higher. So I'm thankful, and I thank my angel for showing me that's pretty much all was shown was just that pyramid of light. But from that, it reminded me of the capstone, which is just saying it is a diamond atop the pyramid. And a diamond is the hardest crystal that we have. You can only cut it with another diamond. So it's talking about the strength and the power of his light. And just think about it. If you're putting light upon light, you just really think about how strong that is. And so if that light is coming within us, think about how strong you really are. And that's part of what Reiki Day is here for, to help us to understand how much power and light we actually have access to. So, family, please get on the path of enlightenment. Please put your children on it as early as possible. help them to become enlightened by the greatest source, which is Allah, so that we will change what we see happening on the planet, and we will reach the hereafter already being prepared, already being at a certain level, that when we walk into it, we will be ready and primed, so to speak, to go to the next level that the hereafter will provide for us. So just please keep these things in mind. Develop your enlightenment. Go through the process. Walk the path. Allah is there for us. He made the path already, and He's standing there. He's just waiting for us to come, get on it, and keep moving. And don't let nobody stop you when you get on that enlightenment path. Don't let nobody stop you. You keep moving towards Him. And so I think that's enough. It's still obviously so much more because His light can't be exhausted. So much more, but He just wants us to get on that path. Remember to see yourself like a pyramid with a capstone. You can take in that light. Let it go throughout you. Learn your lessons. And the main thing, figure out what your purpose is. Because everything within you is built for that purpose. And that's when you're actually find not only true happiness, but that's when you're truly find peace. When you're truly doing your purpose. Okay, so let's move on. And we're going to do our harmonic prayer that was given to us by Allah for Him to empower us, for Him to give us healing light that we will share with the planet as well. Because we live on our planet, and whatever happens to the planet affects us directly and indirectly. So that's why part of Reiki Day is to help heal the planet as well. You know, she's screaming out too. She wants help and wants us to fix what we did to her. I think that's only right. Now, to do the harmonic prayer, well, first of all, let me give you a minute to, if you need to stretch, maybe you need to put a little bit of water on your face or drink a little bit of water. If you need to do that, you know, let me give you a couple of minutes to just kind of stretch in your chair. I know that sometimes sitting too long can affect us. So go ahead, take a little bit of time, you know, twist your neck a little bit, get your shoulders moving, because I want you to get as calm and comfortable as possible so that when we do this prayer, the energy can flow through you freely and can empower you to the highest degree. So I'll give you a couple more seconds. So again, just kind of loosen yourself up. And when we say this prayer, I need for you I mean, say it from the depths of your soul. I mean, really put yourself into the prayer. Now, the reason being, and no, this is not, this is a true prayer to the Creator. It's not a prescribed prayer, but it's a prayer of us asking for His power, His healing hand to come to us and to come to the planet. But I need you to be present, meaning, you're going to be repeating after me. So I want you to put your mind into it, put your energy behind it, because this is an energy exercise. We're going to be harmonizing your energy, Allah's energy, and angel energy. So I want you to put yourself into the prayer, really feel it, really wanting Allah's hand to be there on you and for the energy to go to the planet. Please have that intention in your mind, because you'll get the greatest input and output from it. Input meaning bringing in Allah's energy, output meaning giving it to the planet. You'll get it to its fullest extent that you can handle, the more you are really intent on doing it. Okay, so everybody get comfortable. Not too comfortable. I don't want nobody falling asleep. Not too comfortable, but I want you to be comfortable. Okay. So as I said, put your full will, mind, body, soul, spirit, and intention into the words of the prayer. Okay, I need everyone to please take about 5 deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, hold it, exhale through your mouth. And every time you do that, feel your body relax each time. Let it relax more with each breath. Again, this will just allow the energy to flow better and stronger because you're relaxed, no tension. A few more deep breaths, please. In through your nose, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale. One more time. Okay, I think we're ready. Now call on your guardian angels to cleanse your space and you. Now, those of us that are energy sensitive, you may feel them come to your left and your right, and you may feel them using their energy to cleanse your space and you. Now ask to be connected with your higher self. If this is your first time, please make sure to take note of what happens when you connect with your higher self. You may feel energy on a certain part of your body, but whatever you feel, take note. That is how you will now know from this day forward how your higher self feels and connects with you. Now ask your higher self to take over this harmonic prayer. Now say, I ask for the angels to encircle me And once you feel them around you, we will begin the prayer. I'll give you a few moments to try to feel them around you. If you don't feel them, don't worry about it. Everybody does not have the same energy sensitivity, but just know in your mind that they are there. Know that they have encircled you. And if you can feel the energy, yes, just take it in for a second. Let yourself feel it. Now repeat after me and remember to put your full intention, will, mind behind this prayer. O Creator of all that is, we humbly come before you in need of your grand healing hands to bring the earth back into the balance of optimal health. Please empower us by your healing hands to aid in the healing of our planet as we ask you to bring down your mighty healing energy to the planet and to allow it to flow through us so we may add to it and be healed ourselves. Now feel the energy that you have created with the sincerity of your prayer. Think on all of those whom you want to be healed, human and otherwise. Let your prayer energy grow for them. Sit in the energy for a while, keeping your thoughts on healing yourself and those whom you want to be healed. And let the energy grow. Now ask the Creator to flow his energy to you now. As you feel the energy flow to you and through you, stay in it for a while to heal yourself. I'll give you a minute to 2 minutes. Just let the Creator's energy flow into you, healing you as you feel it flowing. Keeping your mind open, keeping your heart open, and just letting the energy flow. And if it has any messages for you, just let it flow and give you the message. Feel yourself being healed. Feel your pains, your anxiety, any depression, any mental illness. Feel everything that's ailing you. Feel it start to slowly slip away as the Creator is giving you his energy. Keep feeling it flowing. Keep feeling it flowing. from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Feel it flowing everywhere, flowing everywhere. When you feel your healing fulfilled, point your hands to the ground, palms facing the ground, and see the energy go in and throughout all the earth, cleansing and rejuvenating it. So now let the energy flow out of your hand into the earth and just envision it flowing throughout the entire planet. Just let it flow. Now say, harmonize, and feel the energy harmonize, and feel the creators and your energy harmonize. Now you may or should feel an energy boost. Now that the energies are harmonizing, you're still sending it through the earth, but it's still coming through you and to you. And just see it flow through your arms into your hands, from your hands to the planet. Yes, just allow yourself to feel the harmonized power flowing through you to the earth for a little bit longer. Now say, angels energy harmonize, and feel the circle of angels energies flow into you. Then harmonize with the creators and your energy. Now continue to see the energy flow into and around the earth. So now you have the angels' energy, Allah's energy, and your prayer energy harmonized and flowing through you to the planet. Now say, align, and continue to flow the energy into the earth until you feel it is finished. Say these 4 lines with the intent, gratitude, sincerity, humbleness, and thought of atonement with the earth, angels, the creator, and yourself. So please repeat after me. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, give you another minute or so. You should be feeling the energy winding down. Okay, now ask the angels to close you and the earth off and to cut all energy ties for you, the earth, and the creator. So you're asking them to close you off and cut all energy ties between you, the earth, and the creator. Now give thanks to the creator, your higher self, and your guardian angels, and all other angels that encircled you. Now see or place your feet on the ground. See a connection with the earth. See some energy from the earth connect with your feet and say, I am now grounded. And when you are ready, open your eyes and let me know that you are ready. Um, and please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
What Laikum Salam, sis?
Yes, sir.
Let us know when you're ready, Sister Cherie.
I'm ready.
All right. So how are you two feeling?
Yeah, I feel pretty
Refresh.
good, as usual.
Praises are due to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Sister Cherie, you said you were feeling
Refreshed.
refreshed. All right. All right. How did you feel when you asked the creator to give you his energy? Sister Kimry, how about yourself?
Um, you know, um, I did feel, I'm just amazed. I'm kind of, I shouldn't be speechless, but sometimes I am,
Yeah.
when it comes to working with energy, because it's just amazing how when you do call it or focus on it, you know, just I feel it, you feel it in different places at times. I know I felt it in my hands, I felt it on my arms, and then like in the center of my body, it's just like a tingling feeling. And different times you just feel it in different ways. And so I always look forward to it to see what is going to happen, what am I going to feel, how am I going to feel it. And when I do, I just smile. I'm like, wow, it's just amazing. I just love it because I don't, and maybe I am, I don't know, but I was going to say maybe I'm not. I don't just be walking around feeling energy, but yeah, I think I do. But when you focus in a session like this, you just feel it, even if it's really subtle. I can tell that it's there, a lot of the times. Sometimes it's a little stronger and sometimes it's just really subtle, but I know it's there. Yeah.
Great. Be to Allah. Okay, ladies. So when you called on the angels to add their energy to it, what did that feel like? I'm just curious. Did you feel a difference?
Well, I would say for me, I don't know if I felt a difference. I don't know. I can't go back unless it's like really something that really stands out. I think once the energy for me is being called, um, it's there. It may intense it this time I'm speaking of intense a little bit. And I know when you said to put your hands out facing the ground, I truly felt energy in my hands, and that was one of the times I was just saying that I just smile. I was like, man, it's just humming right now. It's just like vibrating. I could just feel it, and that's what I mean. Like I'm not walking around with my hands out, just feeling the energy. So you just feel the energy when you call it,
Right.
different times. So that's what I meant by, you know, I felt it on my arms. That might have been when, as far as calling the angels, because I felt like on both sides of my arms, a tingling feeling. So that could have been at that time.
Yes,
Could
ma'am.
have been, yeah. So
Yes, ma'am. Um, praise be to Allah. See? We're getting into those higher levels. We're understanding that the type of energies that we can work with, and that, this is actually natural to us. It's just that we've been without it for so long that it may feel strange or seem strange, but this is what our ancient people were doing, for a long, long, long time ago. We just getting back into it. Were there any questions or anything before I
I,
close
w-
it?
yeah, I wanted to say this. This part is really funny to me, because and I don't remember what part when you were saying it was something you were saying for us to like connect to, right? Or something. And for a minute, I've been trying to focus on outside of this this session here, just focus on I bought some material, some fleece material because it's cold, getting cold out. It's cold outside now. And I've been wanting to like, what should I do with this material? I don't, I buy material and I have someone to make my stuff. And I like to be a little different, a little creative with my stuff. So I was like, let me hold on to this piece of material until I figure out or idea come to me that I want to do with this fleece material. I was like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want something different, and I just couldn't. I was like, okay, I kind of think I might have it. Do you know, just a few minutes in this session, an image came to me and was like, bang. I was like, that's it. That's it right there. The
See,
image came. I was like, that's the outfit right there with this fleece material because it's solid blue. It's a pretty blue. And I was like, but it's plain, but I want some plaid with it. Where do I put the plaid? The image was like bling. I was like, okay, I got it. Got it. That's gonna be it. It's different. And I was like, okay, if she can do what I see, it's gonna be really nice. It's simple, but it's nice and it's different. I hadn't seen it, right? that I just started smiling. I was like, you know what?
But sister, this is the days of prayer. You were praying. You asking because you were going beyond yourself because you couldn't figure out what to do. So you're asking. So I mean, I'm smiling because it's like Allah answered your prayer
Yeah.
during the days of prayer.
Mm-mm-mm.
you, you can't get no better than that. And he
Yeah.
did it in a way that you know it was him. Because it, like you said, it just popped. You weren't even thinking about it. It just popped up in your head, the image. That's,
Yep.
in other words, that's him saying, I heard you. And this is your answer.
Yep. Sure did. I mean, I went through several. I was like, well, maybe, oh, this is nice. I could do this, but I want to add a little something. Then I was looking at something else. Well, yeah, I could do that. I have a jacket in there, and maybe I can have her to do it like this or whatever. But right during this session, the image came. It was like bling. And I was like, okay, I can see. I mean, everything where the plaid should go, the everything. And I was like, okay, I just smiled. I was like, "Okay, that's me. I could see myself in that," you know? And, I said, "Imma have to tell you this after this all when the session is over, Imma have to tell you what just happened."
But sis, that's enlightenment. Allah just had you bear witness to
Mm,
enlightenment. You had a question on your mind. We did the harmonic prayer and you got an answer. It was
yeah,
direct. Hello.
yeah, yeah,
Just up to, Allah is making us bear witness to this is the power of Reiki Day and the days of prayer. It's all meant to get us to this enlightenment. And this is what happens when you start getting enlightened.
I was not expecting, of course, because I wasn't like you say, I wasn't thinking about it, and when that came, and afterwards, I smiled, and afterwards, I was like, "Okay," not that I'm not grateful, but I was like, "You gave me the image of the outfit?" That seemed like so
No, but remember, Sister Kimmery, that's one of your things, though.
It is.
Remember? You love fashion.
I
So he
do.
said, well, I'm going to give her something in fashion to make sure she's going to say something about it because that's one of the things that she loves. She's going to mention it. See? He know what he doing. So he gave it to you knowing the excitement it will create in you and that you would feel like, man, I got to tell him this one. And
Yeah, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, "I ain't thinking about this." I thought I would probably get some other type of, the images and stuff that I normally would get. I got
mhm.
that. And I was
And-
like, "What that got to do with the earth and the and the light and the pyramids and" but
well,
I got this image. I was like, "Okay." I had to smile because I was like, "That just popped up, bling." I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm trying to heal the earth.
but what did I say though? What did I say? I said we can't put a law in our box. He's going to do
Yeah,
things that's going to come from a different place than what you think is going to come from. But he did it that way. So again, you would bear witness and it would bear witness to the days of prayer because you obviously did get connected to Allah. You felt his energy and he answered something that you had on your mind, but you weren't consciously thinking of it while you was doing the prayer.
right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm basically what I'm saying is he just gave you and us a glimpse of what happens when you get on the path of enlightenment. He'll pop things in your head at any given moment. You know, you thinking about it. And that's why I was saying, don't get stuck on prescribed prayers. He answered that, but that wasn't even a prescribed prayer, though. You know what I
No.
mean? You didn't get down and do a whole bunch of rakahs to get that answer. You just had it on your mind. And he answered it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, everybody hang on. So, we thank everybody for being with us today, the beginning of Reiki Day, the days of prayer. So, I love my Muslim family and I thank you for being here. And please continue to keep coming, participating in Reiki Day. Stay on your path of enlightenment and get this light up in you so that we can change the world. It's time for a shift, and Allah is calling for that shift. And Allah is giving us Reiki Day to give us some of the light that we will need to get through. All right, everybody. So thank you once again. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless.